Welcome to ANS Solver question 11 of this paper. So for part A, they are asking us to complete the table. Now let's do that. That's very easy. So when there are 5 diagrams, they are asking 5 and 6. So they are asking us to fill in the space for the 5th and 6th diagram. That is for the number of lines and the number of dots. So all we got to do is notice the pattern and implement it for the diagram 5 and 6. So for the number of small lines, as you can see, each difference is increasing by 2. So first they add 6, then they add 8, then they add 10. So now they should add 12, and therefore for diagram 5 it would be 40, and then after you add 12 you would add 14 because 12 plus 2 is 14. So 40 plus 14 is equal to 54. Now let's move to the number of dots. For the number of dots, they are increasing the difference by 1. As you see, first the difference is 4, then 5, then 6. So now the difference should be 7. Therefore 19 plus 7 is 26. And now it should be 8. So 26 plus 8 is 34. Therefore these will be your final answers for part A. Now let's move to part B. So for part B, they are asking you to find an expression in terms of n for the number of small lines. Okay, so your first step should be finding the common difference. And when you find the first difference, it would be 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. So the common difference in this case would be 2. The common difference means when the difference between all the numbers is 2, is the same, not 2, my bad. Now, you found the common difference in the second time, when you found the difference for the second time. And therefore, this is a quadratic sequence, which means that your A value will be equal to, so it will be 2A is equal to your common difference. Therefore, your A value will be equal to 1. Now, a quadratic sequence is written in the form an square plus bn plus c. So now we know the value of A. So let's find the value of B and C as well now. So your value of B would be 3 times A. So A is 1. So 3A plus B is equal to the first difference that you found. So in this case that would be 6 because 10 minus 4 was 6. So equals to 6. Therefore B will be equal to 3 because 6 minus 3 is equal to 3. Therefore your B value is 3. Now to find the C value, you use the formula A plus B plus C is equal to the first term of the sequence. So A value is 1, your B value is 3 plus C, and the first term of the sequence is 4. Therefore C would be equal to 0 because 4 minus 3 is 1 and 1 minus 1 is 0. Therefore your final answer would be by substituting the values of A, B and C into the nth term. So your final answer would be n square plus 3n, and since C is 0 you don't need to write that at all. So your final answer would be n square plus 3n for part B of this question. Now let's move to part C. So for part C, they are asking us, or they are telling us that diagram R has 10,300 lines. So we can say that n square plus 3n is equal to 10,300. So now we have to find the value of R, and in this case we can substitute n as R. So it would be R square plus 3R is equal to 10,300. So now what we need to do is we need to solve for R. So let's take R common. So if we take R common, it would be R square divided by R would be R, and R 3R divided by R would be 3. Therefore my bad. So we have to solve this quadratic equation. So R square plus 3R minus 10,300 is equal to 0. So now all you need to do is input this equation into your calculator. So when you do that in your equation mode and the quadratic equation mode, you input the values of A, B and C, and therefore you will get your answers as R is equal to 100 or r is equal to negative 103. Now, the diagram number cannot be negative, and therefore our final answer will be 100. Now let's move to part D of this question. So for part D, they are asking us, they are telling us the number of dots in diagram n is an square plus bn plus 1. So they are asking us to find the value of a and the value of b. Now, the first step should be to find the common difference, as I said before, for the when we are finding the nth term for the number of lines. So let's find the common difference. So the sequence is 4, 8, 13, 19, 26. So the difference between these numbers would be 4, 5, 6 and 7, and therefore the common difference would be 1, 1 and 1. Since the difference is the same, now this would be the common difference. Now since you found the difference in the second go, this would also be a quadratic sequence. So your a value would be equal to, since the formula to find a is 2a is equal to common difference, so your a value would be half. So you already found the a value, you can write that as your final answer, that is a is equal to half. And to find your b value, you use the formula 3a. So a in this case is half, so 3 by 2, because 3 multiplied by half is 3 by 2, plus b is equal to the first term of the difference that you found the first time. So in this case it would be this term, that is 4. So therefore b would be equal to 4 minus 3 by 2. So 4 minus 3 by 2 is equal to 5 by 2. Therefore your b value will be 5 by 2. And therefore these are your final answers for question 11 of this paper.